Cars, a story where there is more to life than the endless pursuit of chasing fame and glory. And when you do, you can ultimately be left used up and discarded. But if we change the perspective from Mr. Speed, and instead focus on the man with the incredibly suspicious catchphrase, then it becomes a cautionary tale of the depths that people will go to win, and then eventually becoming a car who literally embodies the idea of peaking in high school and making that one thing that they did in their life their entire personality.
I couldn't have enjoyed it more if I'd beaten McQueen myself. Oh wait, I have.
But to understand that, let me just put you in his wheels. Now imagine for a second that you are Chick Hicks. You are an American racing car. Quite literally. You've been in this game a very, very, very long time. And one thing that's always frustrated you is that you've never actually won a race that mattered. Sure, you get the points to succeed, but you never get enough to get that sweet piston cup. And that makes you bitter. It makes you desperate. For years, they've touted you as the greatest driver to never win anything. And for years, much to your chagrin, that has largely been true. You know you're a great driver. And you know you deserve at least one cup in your lifetime. And one year, when you're just minding your own business, a new rookie comes onto the scene, Lightning McQueen. A tale as old as time, a thirsty young blood coming to upset the dynasty of a guy quite literally called the King. Arguably one of the greatest drivers that has ever raced. Except for you, of course. And this year, you, the King, and McQueen fight furiously, tirelessly, and eventually you get to the last race all tied up. A statistical improbability, but it does make a great story. A story where the overlooked veteran finally rises to the occasion and becomes the champion, ushering in new deals and, of course, that sweet Dynaco sponsorship. And all you have to do is beat McQueen and the King by any means necessary. And this race, it goes well. You actually force a pit maneuver onto Lightning, and he is sent straight back to the Shadow Realm. Of course, naturally, that means you're going to have to spin things at the end of the race. This is, you know, something, accident, these things happens, blah, 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 blah. Whatever, doesn't matter. What matters is that you got into second place. And you know that there is at least one surefire way that you can prevent Lightning McQueen from catching up at all.
Oh my.
So you cause a wreck. Whoopsies. It's not your fault these other drivers don't know how to punch below the belt. Besides, you're only giving them a little cheeky rub. That's not exactly against the rules. Ah. Well, that's inconvenient. He doesn't even go into the pits. Apparently, actually, he fires his crew chief in the middle of a race. Now, this is something you actually would never do. You do know you are the best driver that's ever lived, but you are only as good as your pit crew. So you keep a plethora of loyal yes men to facilitate your rise. Sure, they are quite literally paid to be there, but still, they're your friends, right? Right? But somehow, Lightning McQueen, practically gets an entire lap on you after you put him into the rear end of the mag. And it's really frustrating because to this point you had played the race perfectly. You had plausible deniability. And now you're actually going to get overshadowed by a rookie. Like, you're not getting any younger. This is truly a fate worse than death.
Oh no! McQueen has blown a tire! And with only one turn to go!
Holy moly. This is your moment. You can feel it. It was written in the stars. This is just for you. It's your destiny. This time, you will win the Piston Cup. In fact, you're so focused on winning that you don't even try and stop the King from finishing.
It's too close to call! I don't believe it!
But you have no doubt in your mind that you won. Like, come on. There's no way.
McQueen, seriously, that was some pretty darn nice racing out there.
Fight me!
So you give McQueen another little post-match rub. I mean, after all, half the sport is trash talking, and you are kind of the master.
How do you think I'd look in Dynaco blue?
Dynaco blue!
In your dreams, Thunder.
Yeah, right.
Thunder, what's he talking about Thunder?
You know, because Thunder always comes after lightning.
Holy crap, wow. But that is interesting. Thunder, it has a nice ring to it. Thunder might come after lightning, but it is what makes the noise. And in the Chick era, you are going to be making the biggest noise ever. So his lightning just sets you up to make you sound even better. Still, you gonna hate how much attention McQueen gets? And those twins that follow him around?
Twins, Basil, twins.
Anyway, old Lightning bursts onto the stage, completely embarrasses himself. Of course, you are a professional.
But I wouldn't worry about it, because I didn't do it.
Appearances are everything in this sport. And that's why you hate the king. He's frankly way too humble, way too gracious, and just too good to be that uncontroversial. His PR team must be incredible. So it turns out they're going to do another race in a week.
Hey, Brooke, first one to California gets Dynaco.
The insane logistics to have a completely separate event on the other side of the country. It's almost as if they need to change the location to develop the narrative in some way. And of course, like, all of this racing is scripted. It's fake. It's all in cahoots to make the king win. Whoever's the fan favorite, they get the Dynaco blue. Anyway, you do head off to LA, satisfied that you're probably going to win. No, you're definitely going to win. Turns out McQueen doesn't even arrive in LA. A million thoughts run through your mind, like, is this a tactical thing? And is he going to go to another place to get secret training before eventually coming here and this is all a ruse? Why would he not be coming here if that was not the case? This is like the time to schmooze the Dynaco brands. Like, one of those, like, his loss, right? So you take the opportunity by the horns. You rub elbows with the elite. You schmooze with every schmuck that would listen to you. And you even woo those two twins that McQueen had.
Twins, Basil, twins.
Just goes to show that fans are only loyal to those that give them attention. A parasocial relationship. So leave a comment down below if you want to form a parasocial relationship with me. Please don't do that. And during this time, you do actually decide that leaning into that thunder idea is the coolest concept in the world. So naturally, you develop a catchphrase that obviously isn't suspicious at all, does not have any connotations. And besides, nothing says original thought like copying your opponent's entire bit. What did they say about imitation? Oh yeah, it's like the most sincere form of being better than them. After all, anything they can do, you can do better. And actually, McQueen shows up on the day of the race. It's kind of annoying, but it is what it is. It's going to make your inevitable victory even more sweet. Really, people do not know what it's like to go second or third every single race. And the one time that you didn't, it's a 3-way tie. Like, you are bitter, you are angry, and you are hungry to win. So the race starts, and you start the banter early. Get inside his mind, and apparently it works, because his head just isn't in it. Clearly he cared about those twins more than you thought. Apparently all you have to do is just beat the old man, and this cup is effectively as good as yours. And in a one-on-one situation, there's no way the king can win. And like, McQueen even spins out just as he catches up to you. Like, talk about rookie moves, man. Just goes to show that no matter how good the rookie may seem, no matter how much fan adoration they may have, adoration that should go to you, of course, when the chips are down and the pressure is on, they crumble every single time. But then you get word on the radio that McQueen's new pit crew chief is the fabulous Hudson Hornet, which is, frankly, what the fuck? So basically, your future greatest rival fires his pit crew chief because he is a prima donna, calls himself a one-man show, disappears off the face of the earth for 1 week, and then comes back with the greatest driver that's ever lived, after you of course, as his crew chief. What? How could he wrangle that? This is obviously scripted. They were saving the Hudson Hornet for this exact moment. So that way this narrative that they had constructed within the Federation was going to be like this, now ushering in a new era with Lightning McQueen. It's a goddamn psyop. So no, you are not going to lose this. You are not going to let them steal another piston cup from you. So the desperation bubbles up. And McQueen gains lap after lap after lap. So you give him another rub down. Sends him back on his way. How?
Well, what do you think of this? Yeah, that's it, kid.
How the fuck does someone learn to drive backwards in the middle of a race? Did the Hornet teach him that? It must have been the Hornet, right? No, apparently it was some rusty tow truck. Like, what? Okay. So you're getting really desperate. Like, really, really desperate now. And it's looking like you're going to go third again. That's worse than second. So you give him one last rub down and pop his tires. Is that illegal? Probably. But right now, you will literally do anything to win. And if you're up against the Hudson Hornet and a fucking rusty tow truck that knows how to drive backwards, you're going to start playing dirty. But then the yellow flag comes down. And it's actually fine, right? Because you would need a full-on Formula 1 crew to change those tires in time, right? So apparently, he just had the fastest pit stop in history. Where the fuck did he find these people? Somehow, he magically has the greatest team in history, all assembled after 1 week. Where were these people hiding? It's not fair. Okay, so you gotta focus on what you can do now.
McQueen's going inside. Chicken, the king are loose.
Okay, you got him on the dirt. There's no way he can get out of that one, right?
McQueen is out of the race.
Now he's ahead of you. How is that not illegal, by the way? How is it not illegal to drive on the grass like that? Like, to use the grass as a shortcut? That should be illegal. And now the old man is stopping you from even getting... Nope. No way, you ain't gonna let that one go. No way. You have way too much self-respect for that one. And you do what any self-respecting hero does in that situation when their honor and integrity and just everything is on the line. Oh, holy crap, you actually almost killed him. Okay, it's good. Like, this is a retirement race anyway, like, come on, like, he has all the time in the world after this one to recover and recuperate. Never mind that you effectively just destroyed the car of the brand that you wanted to become a part of. Anyway, Lightning must have blown his tires out again, because he's, a rookie, and, he doesn't care about his tires, apparently, and he stops on the finish line. Just stops right there, giving you the victory.
Yeah! Woo! I won, baby! Yeah!
Finally, after all of these years, finally, after every second place and coming in behind that blue tail fin, you win. You get the cup. And for the first time in your life, you are actually the champion. And you are everything that you thought you were. And you can finally bask in your own magnificence. A victory well deserved. So you head back to your crew, and for some reason they don't have mustaches anymore. Like, okay.
Come on, baby, bring it out! Bring out the piston cup! Ka-chicka, ka-chicka! Yeah! Now that's what I'm talking about!
But it seems no one else wants to bask in your glory. Actually, in fact, it seems that most people are upset that you won.
Hey, how come the only one celebrating is me, huh? Where are the girls? Bring on the confetti! Ow, ow.
What, because McQueen burst his tires, probably? No, you won fair and square. And if you did do anything illegally, they would have to... They wouldn't be able to give you the cup, would they? Right?
Come on, snap some pictures. I gotta go sign my deal with Dynaco. Ka-chicka, stay with me!
No, finally, no one can take this trophy from you. Finally, you broke free from the script. They rigged every other race, but not this one. Anyway, with your victory in the bag, you do race for another season or two, but you just take it easy. You already beat McQueen. You already proved that you are the greatest racer of all time. You do what any former athlete does with one singular win under their belt. You become a pundit. and you take every opportunity to bash McQueen.
Jackson Storm slams the proverbial door on Lightning McQueen. Oh, I couldn't have enjoyed it more if I'd beaten McQueen myself. Oh wait, I have.
Because, you know, why not? He lost to you. And your ethos is very straightforward. Always attack, never admit defeat, and always claim victory. Who cares if you won because he went back to push the dinosaur across the line? Not your fault he didn't actually just cross the line and go back. He absolutely could have. And of course, you make sure you sneak in that you won the Piston Cup because, you know, gotta establish your authority as not just the greatest racer of all time, but the greatest pundit.
Chick Picks with Chick Hicks. I'm your host, former and forever Piston Cup champion, Chick Hicks.
Anyway, you watch as this new wave of advanced racers take the stage, absolutely smoking McQueen at every opportunity. They would never have smoked you, of course, because you retired well before you could show them what a real racer could do. And he ends up in second, third, every single time. Guess he finally learned what it's like to be like you. Last of his breed, trying to make one last miraculous comeback. And in the pursuit of this, he gets completely annihilated. He did his very own Hudson Hornet, and his racing days are over. It's very clear that without the Hornet, he is nothing. May that legend rest in peace. The second greatest driver of all time. And then again, McQueen disappears for months, comes back, gets a new sponsorship deal, new owners, and then disappears again to train. Only to arrive again at the last minute. Like, haven't we seen this story before? But just like on the inverse? Anyway, he actually doesn't race the entire thing. Like, he gives up and lets some no-name take his place. Which would be completely fine if we had established the narrative as a passing of the torch, and not as a veteran giving one last hurrah to try and recapture that fire within them to come out and just prove that the older generation can still do it. No, now it is just a story of how the older generation is crap, and the younger generation, the only ones that can win. But whatever, he's given up his spot. It's not like he's going to win this trophy. He's not going to win this race. History only ever remembers the winner. And you were a winner. The winner. Once. And if nobody remembers that, it doesn't matter. Because you remember that. You are Chick Hicks. Forever. But she wins the race. Good driver. McQueen apparently gets a participation trophy. And unfortunately you get fired for your job. Something about inappropriate workplace practices. And what, just because you sniffed a few girls' exhaust fumes? Like, come on.
Twins, Basil, twins.
If you like the video, please give it a like, and thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to vote in my weekly poll for the next film perspective that you want to see. Also, don't forget to subscribe, because at 100k I will be cutting and donating my hair to charity, which will be very exciting. Maybe, I guess. I just want to shout out my members real quick, especially Lavender, Zyla, Sam, Alyssa, Lewis, and of course Alan. Thank you guys. Have a great day and have a great life.